Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today I have got my timings for the start of the video wrong. I normally start at 5 seconds, so I'm going to have to fill this time with random waffle till the game starts. There we go. Spot on. I'm getting good at this. Anyway, this video is going to pick up the mood slightly. I think my last 6 or 7 videos have been heavily critical of wargaming, and there is a reason for that. I don't want everybody to think that my channel has gone down the toilet. Well, some of you will probably think that, but that's up to you. I made those videos because I'm laying groundwork for Tankfest. Tankfest, as of me recording this, Tankfest is 8 days away. So I was laying groundwork for Tankfest, and what I was trying to do was I was trying to get everything out on record so that I didn't have to try and get it all out from memory in the limited time that I have with the wargaming developers and the staff members that will be there. I figured get it all out before the event and save yourself time when you get there. They'll already know the things that you want to talk about. I already spoken about it. They'll have time to think about their answers. I just felt like it was the painful but right thing to do. It wasn't, I will say, it wasn't pleasant. I haven't enjoyed making those videos, but I felt it needed to be done. So here we are, picking up the mood slightly. And this is going to be, this video here is the first in a new series. A limited series, obviously, because there's only so far I can take this. But what I'm going to do is I am going to run through the whole game, every single tier, every single era, and I'm going to tell you guys what my personal favourites for each tier and each era are. So, for whatever reason, well no, I do have a reason. We're starting with era 2, and there's a reason for that. I only thought of this last night, and the reason I did think of this was because I am currently grinding the AMBT contract, the tier 8, and I have to play mediums. So in my head I thought, this is a great opportunity for me to play my favourite era 2 medium. And then I thought, I'm often asked what is my favourite, so I thought, well, why not make a series about it? Why not make a series about what my favourites are? So here we are, episode 1, personal favourites. This is the Chrysler K Tank Premium Medium in Era 2. Now, if you look at my ammunition loadout, you'll see armor piercing, you'll see ATGMs. And for those of you that have played the game a little bit longer, you'll know that there's another medium in Era 2 that has a very, very similar loadout. And that is the M60A2. If you haven't played the American Era 2 line, or you are grinding the Era 2 line, I would strongly recommend that you play the M60A2 over the M60A3. That doesn't mean the M60A3 is a bad tank, that is not at all what I'm saying, but the M60A2 is, in my opinion, the better tank. The Chrysler K Tank is then an even better version of the M60A2. So before we talk about why the K Tank is the better tank, let's talk about the A2. Let's set the groundwork for the A2. So the A2 fires heat, high explosive, and ATGMs. The K Tank fires armor piercing, heat, and ATGMs. A2, 380mm of pen on the heat, 160mm pen on the high explosive, 450mm pen on the ATGM. The ATGM between the K Tank and the A2 are exactly the same. Both have 450mm pen. Both will do an average of 1100 alpha. So that is very, very good. The A2 has premium high explosive, and some could argue, and I would accept this as well. Some could argue that that is a little bit better because the premium high explosive is fantastic at face hugging things, especially the FV4211. If you fire a premium high explosive round into the driver's hatch of a 4211, you'll probably do maximum alpha. You'll get a maximum alpha roll, and that's 1100. And of course, if you're face hugging a 4-11 and you do 1100 damage to their front, that's going to make the average 4-11 driver think twice about facehugging an A2. So there is that going for the A2. The only thing is, that is the gold round. It's a little bit more expensive. If you can't afford gold rounds, then maybe you're out of luck. And then the standard is heat, and with all the spaced armor in Era 2, that could kind of be a problem. I can see why that would be a problem. So the A2 is the technically free-to-play version. You've got heat, high explosive, and ATGMs. This is where I think the K Tank is an upgrade, because it does away with the premium high explosive. It does away with the heat to an extent. The standard round for the K Tank is armor piercing, and it has 350 mil of pen, which, you know, that's 30 mil down on the standard heat for the A2. But with all the spaced armor in Era 2, there's no guarantee that your heat will actually do something. And I prefer the guarantee of penetrating with armor piercing. That gives me peace of mind, you know, and it gives me confidence when I'm playing as well. I don't have to think to myself, is this going to pen? Is this not going to pen? Is RNG going to help me here? Is it going to punish me here? Generally speaking, when you're firing armor piercing, it's like, yeah, you're going to go through. Obviously, you're going to go through if you shoot the right area, but you don't really have to worry about spaced armor as much. And that's kind of why I like the gun on the K Tank. Now, I only use the gun really on the K Tank as a backup, as you're seeing here, and in the previous game. The previous game I did switch because of the faster reload of the gun. I believe the gun reloads in about 11 seconds and the ATGMs are more like 15. So that 4-5 second difference between your reloads can mean the difference between you taking a kill shot or you surviving that engagement. So that's one of the reasons why I switch. I don't always fire ATGMs. I will primarily go with ATGMs, but I won't always fire ATGMs. In tight situations, I will use the main gun. And that is, in a nutshell, that's why I like the K Tank. For me, it feels just that little bit more reliable. It feels that little bit more consistent. And that's a Pharaoh's Fury? Pharaoh's in there, stuff. Egypt. That's a Egypt tank up there. Pharaoh's Fury, I think it is. And one great thing about ATGMs is this right here. There we go. We'll just take your head off. Casually take your head off. I love this tank for that reason. I love the slightly slower reload high alpha guns. That's why I've played the M60A2 a fair bit, not as much as other people, but I have a personal leaning to I lean towards these ATGM vehicles. I lean towards the higher alpha, slower reload vehicles because for me it feels like I've got more time to think about what I'm doing. It's not a case of get that shot off, okay, quickly get the next one off, quickly get the next one off, quickly, you know. It's more like, okay, I've placed myself, I've played this, there goes my shot, back up, relocate, wait for the reload. And, you know, it feels more methodical to me. And if you wanted an example of a K Tank versus an A2, that was one right there. There was an ATGM coming towards me, but I got a feeling his ATGM either hit a lamppost, telegraph pole, or a car. It hit something and it exploded before it got to me, so lucky for me. But there you go. That was an A2 versus a K Tank. But yeah, I love these. I love this type of vehicle. I love it because it's not running around the map with your head cut off like a chicken. You actually still need to think about what you're doing and how you're playing, and I really like that. I really like the K Tank. It is my favourite Era 2 tank. And it's my favourite because it suits my playstyle. I like the way I have to think about playing it. And I like the damage potential with the ATGMs. Who doesn't? So there you go, guys. That is my favourite Era 2 tank. I'm not sure what order I'm going to be doing this series. I might just make it completely random so that you never know what's coming next. Keep you on your toes. But there we go, guys. That is all I have for this one. That is the K Tank. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If not, a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next one.